So, after getting tons of requests to make a video about giant skeleton evolution, I decided to go for it. Honestly, I don't think I've done an evo for this card before, just because I usually do it for cards I play with. And to be honest, I'm not really a giant skeleton player. But you know me, I'll do anything to keep my audience happy. So, let me break it down for you. This video will be divided into 5 parts. Part 1. Creating the evolved giant skeleton card. Part 2. Explaining and showcasing concept number 1. Part 3. Explaining and showcasing concept number 2. Part 4. Revealing the members club and what it means. Part 5. Explaining and showcasing concept number 3. Part 1. Creating the evolved giant skeleton card. Well, recently I got exclusive access to Supercell's content creators art database. And it's really cool. Instead of searching for images on Google, I can simply look here for a giant skeleton picture like this. Wow, there are so many awesome high-quality images here. Well, I need to choose the one that I think will work best for a giant skeleton Evo card. I think this one's the most suitable. Let's download it. Next step, Photoshop. I prepared in advance an evolution card frame for my previous videos, so let's import it into our document like this. Nice. Now, let's bring in the giant skeleton image we just downloaded and place it in a layer just below the Evo frame. Cool. I must say I already love how it looks. Okay, now it's time to make it perfect. The next thing is to add a background that I've also prepared in advance for my Evo card series. So let me just bring it. Cool. We'll put it in the bottom layer and apply some effects to blend it well. Awesome. So, after playing around with the colors, brightness and contrast, this is the final result for the card. Ready? Boom. Moving on to the next part. Part number 2, explaining and showcasing concept number 1. So, as I said, I'm not a much giant skeleton player, but I faced him many times in battles, so I know exactly what he's all about. To turn him into an Evo card, we need to look at the character as a whole, what his abilities are, and how we can take them one step further to make the card a proper Evo. So, what do we have here? A skeleton type, meaning hits that don't deal much damage as a single unit, like other skeleton cards we all know from Clash Royale. But he's huge, meaning he has a lot of health, so the easiest thing would be to give him an extra HP, to make him really hard to kill, right? No, because that's boring. You hear that, Knight? Boring and annoying. So, he obviously has a huge bomb that he carries and drops when he dies. What if we give him the option, like Supercell did in Squad Busters, to throw bombs at a distance at his enemies, and still have the bomb explode at the end? Kind of like a giant bomber. Ooh, giant bomber! But to make it really explosive, I'll put the bomber inside the gunpowder bag he carries, and the bomber will throw the bombs. After the giant skeleton dies, the bomber will stay and continue dealing damage. I can already see the comments, very balanced, but in Clash Royale there is no such a thing as a truly balance. Let's see how it works in gameplay. Concept number 1, Giant Bomber. Part 3, explaining and showcasing concept number 2. Now, let's talk about concept number 2. Hold on, let me bring back the screen that explains the giant skeleton characteristics. There we go. So, we talked about them being a skeleton. We talked about the huge bomb he carries, and we made it into the first concept. But as I mentioned earlier, the giant skeleton has a sort of a huge bag of gunpowder that he carries with him. So I think it's the time to use that. Imagine a situation where the giant skeleton walks and leaves a trail of a gunpowder along his path. When he dies and the bomb explodes, it ignites the entire trail he left behind for 2 seconds, damaging any enemy that remains on this trail. How cool is that? Let's see this gameplay in action. Concept number 2, Gunpowder Trail. Part 4, Revealing the Members Club and what it means. So recently, I, your humble servant, received a cool offer from YouTube. To be honest, it will help increase the channel's revenue, and it's time to tell the truth. I invest a lot of time, effort and thoughts to give you the best content I can, but I barely make any money from it, which is quite disappointing. So, where was I? Oh yeah, YouTube offered me to create a members club that will give those who join some super cool benefits. Number 1. Information, images, and posts that I'll publish exclusively for members club only. Number 2. Early access to new videos before anyone else. And number 3. Member shoutouts for those who join the club. Do you like it and want to support me? You can do so by joining through this button, or just click the link right here. Huge thanks. Part 5. Explaining and showcasing concept number 3. Where were we? So, we said the giant skeleton has a huge bomb he carries, right? What if we combine the giant skeleton with a bowler? What do you mean how? Easily. Do you guys remember the example I gave earlier about squad busters? So, instead of the giant skeleton throwing his bombs, he'll just roll them like a bowler across the field, and they'll explode after a few tiles. This way, he will have longer range and he can easily take out swarms. Now check out how cool this could be. Concept number 3. Giant Skeleton Bowler. Giant Skeleton Evolution, check. That's it for today. Hope you like it. Don't forget to subscribe and to join the channel's new club. Love you all, see you again soon.